So you know some of the top financial mistakes you make when you're in your 30s? Send in a video and I'm going to share with you some of the ones I made. All right, so we're going to make this video because I want to share with you some of the challenges I had when I was in my 30s. I made some mistakes. Looking back at it, I wish I would have planned a little better, but we overcome some of those challenges. I want to share with you some of those things that I spent my money on that weren't necessarily the best interest of my future now that I'm in my early 50s. All right, so point number one, what I was doing when I was in my 30s is most of my friends, they were still out there partying a lot. They're still having a lot of fun. They weren't in a stage of a family. Maybe they met their girlfriend or their wife, but they weren't really married yet. They're in their late 20s and early 30s. Then they started to get married. But what they were doing is they were starting to earn money and started to have a lot of money. But what they were doing is they were just spending it. They were spending their money on either cars or entertainment, a lot of nightclubs, and they got new cars and fancy cars. So they weren't investing in their future, but they were spending on cars, and I was no different. I was spending all my money on late night partying and also cars. Point number two, and then because I was working hard at my job and I spent a lot of time working, one of the things I like to do is I like to take lavish vacations. We went to Mexico, we went to other countries, spending my money on vacations at the time, maybe $5,000 on vacation, have a lot of fun, go crazy, lavish hotels, out eating, of course partying. That was a big thing. I spent a lot of money on vacations. So if you're thinking about starting your own profitable ATM business but didn't know where to start, I want to invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist. The 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 of passive income every single month. All right, let's get back to the video. Point number 3. One of the things I should have been doing is investing in my future. Maybe that was setting maybe 5%, 10% every week towards a retirement account or towards an investment account. A friend of mine told me years ago, he said, Philly, just all you have to do is set aside $100 a week in an investment account and let your money grow. Boy, if I would have did that, I'd had a lot more money, but I wasn't paying attention. He was an older gentleman. He was in his 70s, and I wish I would have listened to him in my early 30s, late 20s, but I didn't. So I'm telling you guys, invest in your future. Retirement accounts, that is also a nice little area to invest. Point number 4, start thinking how to control your time. Controlling your time is a big part of being an entrepreneur. The reason you get into business for yourself is because you want to be able to control your time. And if you can control your time, then you can control your environment. So one of the things we try to do is control our time. And one of the things we also do is please start looking at education, a lot of education. I'm not talking about college. I'm just talking about future education of whatever it is. If it's finances, if it's stocks, if it's real estate, or if it's the ATM business, please invest in your future. But how do we do that? We invest in our time for the future. There's a lot of people who are getting into business. They're in their late 20s, early 30s. This is a great time. Most of the time, you don't have a lot of responsibility, but what you do have is you have some time to set aside for future education so you can get into the business game. And point number 5, all that education will help you guys start a business. The best way to control your time is to have your own business, whether it's a side hustle with a few hours a week, or maybe it's at some point that business becomes your future and then your full-time job will become your side hustle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna invest in a business that you can start to grow slow and steady. Now, what I love about the ATM business, it doesn't require a lot of time to continue to grow a business. It just requires a little effort in the beginning, but not a lot of time. And then you can grow the business slow and steady. And it doesn't require a lot of nurturing in the beginning, because as soon as you get that first ATM set, you're starting to make money. You can spend a little more time on getting a second one and a third one. In the meantime, maintaining the business doesn't take a lot of energy and doesn't take a lot of time. The only thing that takes time is getting a new staff. After that, it's bare minimum. That's one of the things I liked about the ATM business. If you're looking at more information about the ATM business, click the link below. And I want to thank you guys for being part of the ATM community. Thank you guys for making us #1 on YouTube. And I'll see you at the next ATM Mastermind video.